Hey, West Coast Johnny, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. So I just got back from a camping trip. I was gone for a couple days, and my rear windows, the day before I left, one of them was leaking. It was raining so hard here, water was getting in. So I went ahead and resealed the whole window with Sikaflex, and then I put an aluminum shield over it, just like this, like the one over the door. Put one over the window, I'll show you. But I'm gonna do the same thing to this window. Even though it doesn't leak, I just wanna replace the caulking with a better product and then put one of these little shields, because that's really gonna help. And then you seal the shield also, so water, when it gets diverted, it's not going underneath it. You wanna also seal that really good. So let me show you, check this out. This is the old, I believe it's silicone. So I'm taking all that off. And this is what I did a few days ago. I replaced the caulking with the new product that the trailer supply people gave me. And then I put this little shield on. And then I went ahead and sealed that. So now the rain just, there's no way it's going to get in here unless this isn't shut all the way, because these windows open and close. There's two of them. So that I'm really happy with. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start taking all the silicone caulking off around this window. You always want to start with a fresh blade. The corner has been worn off this tip. I was cutting something over cement. The silicone peels off pretty easy once you get it going. Look at that. It's like 2 feet long. We're going to clean all this up, all the little stains and stuff off with some mineral spirits, and then we're going to clean that real nice, and then we're going to go ahead and get the Sikaflex out. So here's the shield that I'm going to put over the window. It's like the shield that comes over the doors of a lot of these little fiberglass trailers, or most people have one of these. It's like a little aluminum lip. So this is going to get riveted right like this with small 1/8" rivets, and that's really going to help. Now this was $21 at my trailer supply. Then we're going to seal everything up with Sika. They make a product called Sikaflex 221. This is what you want to use on windows. I don't know why there was silicone around there. I must have thought a couple of years ago when I put these in that was the best. I must have read something, but it clearly failed, the silicone. And you saw it all come off one piece. That's kind of weird. So we're going to use this. Okay, well, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the factory finish off of this piece of aluminum, because it just, you could see it was clearly pressed in a mold, and you can see the lines from the extrusions and all that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some WD-40 on a piece of steel wool. This is, I believe, triple aught. And we're just going to hit this, and it's going to give it a look where it's much, looks a little older. Odorless mineral spirits. with a little elbow grease, it'll take the stain off. You never want to use acetone to clean. Try to clean like little old caulking and stuff off. Maybe some Goo Gone will work too. I'm just using mineral spirits, but you never want to do like acetone because it'll look like it's cleaning it and it will take it off, but then you're gonna see it's ruining your finish. Now this was rolled and tipped with Alex Seal boat coatings, and then this was sprayed. I sprayed this with regular car paint, catalyzed car paint, but the acetone would do the same thing to both of these. It'll make the finish all hazy, and you're gonna wish you didn't do that. So just use something like Goo Gone or mineral spirits. Well, the mineral spirits got a lot of it off, but we're gonna put some goof off because there's still some little residue. Just gonna let that penetrate a few minutes. Goof off, it's pretty much the same thing as Goo Gone, I'm assuming. Well, with the goof off, this product, this stuff is coming off, the silicone residue is coming off really, really quickly. So there we go, look at that. Now, you know, you don't have to get the residue off. You could just, if there's a stain, you know, you could probably just go over it, but I don't want to see like old caulking underneath new caulking and all that. I want this to look really cool. So I'm just gonna get it all off, and then we're gonna use the Sikaflex 221, go around the whole window. Now here's what I wanted to show everybody. So I got this really clean. See how clean that is? Now, when you put some clear silicone over here, if that's what you decide to use, it eventually turns like tan and it doesn't look good. So with the Sikaflex, it's white, and when you put it on, it flows really nice. Now, as we all know, a lot of people, they'll put it on, they'll get their finger, they'll wipe it, and then they have some of the residue way out here, even though it's kind of thin. And then they try to like wipe it up to clean it, and then they're messing up the caulking. So one trick is to actually put some tape, a nice straight line of tape, leaving yourself about 1/8 of an inch from what you're caulking, the two pieces together. And then when you put your material down, on your substrate, whatever you're using, Sikaflex, whatever, once it starts to set up and not completely dry, you pull the tape off really slow, and you're going to have a beautiful, nice straight line of your sealant. So we're going to do that, and we're going to see how it turns out. Unfortunately, it pulled the paint off of my trailer, so I'm kind of surprised. But we're going to go ahead, I'll do the same thing here, and up at the top. Okay, so I cleaned the surface really nice with some warm water to get all the residue from the goof off and the mineral spirits so that our tape will stick. That's what we want. It's going to look like this. So this little gap right here, 1/8 of an inch of white, that little white stripe, that is where the caulking is going to stick and not come way out here and make a big mess. Okay. I'm going a little bigger out here because I messed some of the paint came off. So we're going to make this stripe a little bigger so that we can cover where the paint came off. There we go. That's what you want to do. See that? We just got a little bit around. Here we went a little fatter because we lost some paint. That's okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the Sikaflex on. Okay, I'm going to wipe it ever so slightly. I just want to make sure it's going in behind the aluminum. Okay. There it is. Okay. Now any residue we get on the aluminum, we're just going to carefully clean that off with a little mineral spirits. Okay. Okay. All right, we just put the Sikaflex around the window with the tape as our border. I'm going to wait about 20 minutes or so. I want it to start to dry, you know, because you don't want to pull the tape off when it's really wet. And I'll show you why when we come back. So I'm going to come back a little bit and check on it. See, right now it's way too wet. So once it's starting to get a little tacky, that's when we're going to slowly pull the tape off. And I'll explain what's going to happen when we do that. Okay, now we're going to peel the tape off very slowly, but can you see the nice line? Okay. Now see how much nicer that looks than just if I wiped it with my finger, I would have made a big mess. Got to go slow. See, if you can see how the caulking is separating slowly from the tape, that's when you want to pull this off. If it's too wet, it'll make a mess. If it's too hard, it won't work right. So now it's soft enough to move. And then when you pull the tape away and it goes back, it still is a little bit soft, so it'll adhere to the trailer and dry exactly how we want it to. Okay, and there it is. I don't need to wipe it with my finger or do anything, and it's a beautiful straight line. And here it went over the paint that got taken off. Nice straight line. Really clean. It just looks cleaner that way. So now I'm going to let this dry for a few hours. Then I'm going to come out and put the shield on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mark the holes for this. I'm just going to do the outer corners first. So I'm drilling only 1/8 of an inch through the shell, but I'm not going through the ensolite, also known as elephant skin in this situation. The inside, they call it elephant skin, but it's really called ensolite. And you don't want to push too hard, and you're going to go right through, you know. So if you just go slow, just enough for the rivet, then what will happen is when we rivet on our little shield, the rivet actually won't try to go through the fabric inside. You won't see any little cuts or holes from where your drill bit went through. So just take your time, and it's really simple. You just got to go slow. Just take your time. All right, we got our rivets. We're using 1/8 by 5/16. That's the size of the little rivet. Rivet gun. Here's the rivet. Okay. You have to squeeze it 2 times. Once it mushrooms the rivet. The second time it snaps off the little piece of the little rod. Okay. There it is. Okay. Three, four, five. One left. Let me show you. So it's all riveted on now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and put a bead of the Sikaflex all around here. So I'm going to do the tape method. I'm going to put some tape on here. Then I could put my caulk on here. All right. Now we have it all where we want it to be only, so we have a nice clean line. Okay, I'm going to carefully peel the tape off. So now we have like a nice, clean, perfectly straight little lip, or, you know, our caulking is, it's not a big mess. So now that line from the tape, because this is still a little bit soft, it's going to go ahead and self-level itself. And then we're going to come check it out in a couple hours. Okay, it's on, it's cleaned up. I think it looks nice, and it's going to really help divert rain away from the top of the frame of the window. So I'm really happy how that turned out. And also, one of our subscribers left a comment, Mike Warren, that he thought the rigidity in this pipe last week when I made that video could damage this if I hit a bump or something really hard. So what I did was I unhooked it so it's loose to move back and forth and stuff, and there's no like rigidity. So if this hits a big dip or something, it's not going to snap anything. So thanks, Mike, for that. Really helped out. All right, I'll talk to you later.